The Broncos knocked off the Browns 41-32 in an all-time Monday Night Football matchup. So let's break down this game and talk about what we saw, because it wasn't all perfect. There were some ups and downs for both the offense and the defense, but this is the beauty of the NFL. It's not college football. You're not building a resume. You're looking for one thing and one thing only: wins. And the Broncos picked up a big win going into their bye on primetime, and now Denver sits in, I wouldn't say a very comfortable spot, but sitting at 8-5. Look at who's behind them in the playoff picture. The Colts, who they're going to play the next time they come back. They have their bye coming up, so they're off this upcoming weekend, and then they play the Colts at home. If they beat the Colts in that game, I mean, if Indy were to win this upcoming Sunday and then lose to Denver, they'd be down 2 games without the tiebreaker and 3 games remaining, meaning Indy has to win out and Denver would have to lose out. So the Broncos are in a really good position to make the playoffs, and now they kind of start trying to jockey around a little bit with the Chargers and Ravens, who, I mean, one picked up a win, the Chargers did in Atlanta, and the Ravens, once they got dog-walked at home, but it was kind of a pathetic performance by Baltimore against the Eagles. But let's turn back to this game here. Was it perfect? No. Did you need to be perfect? No. I mean, you were playing a 3-win Browns team, so you kind of built in a little bit of slack of, if a mistake happens here or there, it's not something we can't overcome. And the Broncos offense, they had some mistakes. I mean, Bo Nix threw 2 interceptions. The first one being just a really good play by Denzel Ward, the Browns corner, who put his hand in front of the receiver to deflect the pass up for a Greg Newsome interception. The second pick, this time by Denzel Ward, was just a bad decision by Bo Nix, but 400 yards of total offense. They moved the ball on the ground, I think, better than any game recently. They kind of found something with Jaleel McLaughlin in what's been a rotating backfield, as it's Javonte Williams one week, Audric Estime the next week, and this week it was highlight reel Jaleel's turn. So the offense sure had its ups and downs, and the defense definitely had its ups and downs. Was it Nix's best game yet? I'm not going to say it is, but man, he still made some big plays when they needed to. He drove them into field goal range at the end of the game to put them ahead. He delivered a 93-yard strike to Marvin Mims for the longest touchdown of the season and the longest touchdown in recent memory for this team. And Mims, by the way, who has been, I mean, extremely streaky this year, obviously having a great game himself. I mean, 105 yards, 93 of it coming on one play, 2 grabs on top of that, and then a touchdown. So, yeah, the offense sure is something that they're going to work on this week. Well, they got to bye this week, but when they come back from their bye, and all I can tell you is when you're watching film after a game like this, you know there's going to be plenty to clean up and work on, but you want to do it with a smile on your face with the win. And the Broncos made more plays than the Browns, and that really fell to the defense, because the defense sure had its less than A-game performance. I mean, Jameis Winston threw for the second most passing yards in Monday Night Football history, but when the chips were down, who made the biggest plays of the night? Nik Bonitto and Jaquan McMillan. So 2 guys that came up huge for Denver defensively, and this Broncos team has shown that they can win games in a multitude of ways. And when you get into the playoffs, that's a really good skill set, right? All right, we're playing a team with a really good offense, so we need to put up points. Not a problem. Here's 42. All right, we're playing a team with a really good defense, so we got to have our own great defense. Not a problem. Here's 2 pick sixes, 3 interceptions on the night, and 3 sacks to go along with it. This is a Denver team that's just, I mean, I don't want to say like some kind of morbid, but almost like a disease that's just spreading more and getting stronger by the week, and, you know, getting better every single time they go out there. And this was an all-time game, by the way. I mean, it's not quite like to the level of Rams-Chiefs on Monday night from 6 years ago, but we nearly had 1,000 yards of total offense. It was blow for blow, both sides exchanging body punches, and ultimately the knockout punch was the pick 6 in the last 2 minutes by Jaquan, who, by the way, is one of the most underappreciated nickel corners in football. So if you're looking to sound smart in front of your friends and you're like, who's someone that doesn't get enough attention? It's number 29 for Denver. He continues to make some really big plays for this team. But like I said, the ground game has been the one area that I've been, critical of, and they answered the call today. Jaleel, 14 carries, 84 yards, hit some big runs. So we'll see if they can find some stability with this, because estimate just 3 carries, and what did Javonte Williams even have? Williams, looking over the box score right now, he finished with 4 carries for 1 yard. So you don't have anything building at that position when it comes to stability, but hopefully you can build off of this game with 38. Cortland Sutton, by the way, continues to be, an awesome receiver for this team, to put it lightly. 6 grabs, 102 yards. He's on pace, I think, for 1,000 yards for the first time since 2019. You don't have Josh Reynolds back just yet, but, Troy Franklin, a day 3 draft pick out of Oregon, he's had some nice contributions. Even the tight ends are coming to the party a little bit. Lucas Kroll, Nate Atkins. So a couple of guys that are not household names, but they're making big plays on third down. And you got to envision that this Broncos locker room is having an absolute ball right now, because it's not just one guy. It's not just a me team. It's a team. It is a movie-worthy team in terms of these players that opposing teams and fan bases know nothing about, and they walk out of the stadium, walk away from their couch going, who the hell was 29 for Denver? I didn't know they had the second best corner in the NFL after Pat Surtain on their team as well. Or, I never heard of Nik Bonitto. Well, you better, because I think he's going to be in the NFL Defensive Player of the Year conversation. He's got 10-plus sacks on the year. He's got a pick 6 to add to his resume now. So this is a Denver defense that opposing teams go, I don't think there's anything too special about them. And then they walk away going, I don't want to play them ever again. So it's a really exciting time right now for Broncos country. Before we get on to the rest of our post-game show, quick shout-out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Prize Picks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this season. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Let's talk a little bit about the Browns offense now, because they definitely, I wouldn't say exploited Denver, but put together a masterclass of an offensive performance outside of the 3 very, very, very costly takeaways, right? And that has to be included in the entire evaluation. But 552 yards of total offense, that's a number right there that should have Vance Joseph's hair on fire. Jerry Jeudy in his return put up the most amount of receiving yards against a former team in NFL history. 9 grabs, 235 yards. How did he do that? Because he played Levi Wallace. And this will sound a little mean because I'm in no position to talk about NFL corner because I couldn't do what they do, but I can tell you from the eye test, Levi Wallace cannot start again for the Broncos. Right. We're all in agreement? They really, really need Riley Moss back after this bye week because that was a disastrous performance. Anytime they threw to the other side of the field from PS2, Elijah Moore, 8 grabs, 111 yards. Njoku, 9 grabs, 52 yards, 2 touchdowns. The name of the game for Ken Dorsey, the Browns offensive coordinator, was, all right, where's 39? Throw to him. And it worked a lot. Like a 70-yard touchdown, the very first play after a 93-yard Marvin Mims touchdown. So, Michael Woods, I think it's his first game of the season. He missed all of last year with a torn Achilles, 3 grabs, 43 yards. There were guys who were making plays that Jamari thrashed. Now we're just kind of really getting nitpicky here, but 2 grabs, 11 yards. I know it's not big groundbreaking numbers, but the point I'm trying to make here is there were receivers for the Browns that had not done anything this year. They were putting up, for them, career numbers. And Jameis, 3 yards shy of 500. So there is plenty to work on for Denver's defense. And in the NFL, it's tough to stay at the top for a whole 17-game season. You're going to have games like this. The hope is that the other side of the ball picks you up a little bit and you still walk out with a win. In this case, it wasn't so much the offense picking up the, loose slack here, but just 2 huge plays by Nik Bonitto and Jaquan McMillan to walk away with 14 points for the defense. Jameis Winston threw 6 touchdowns today. 4 to his team, 2 to the other team, 6 altogether. But for me, I feel like the Jerry Jeudy conversation is, yes, this was something that he was clearly looking forward to. And did he get the last laugh? No. Broncos won this game. Did he definitely make a statement? Without a doubt. It was the best game of his NFL career, and it happened to come against his former team. So I'm sure he will sleep a little bit easier at night knowing that. But the big picture takeaway is no more Levi Wallace. I mean, they were tossing out Chris Abrams-Drain there at the end of the game, the rookie out of Mizzou. He was activated for, I believe, the first time in his career tonight. So if Riley Moss is not back from his knee injury, I think you have a full 2 weeks to get Chris Abrams-Drain up to NFL game speed and prepare him, because we know what happens with Wallace. He's old, he's a veteran, and he just can't keep up with these players, and it was on full display. So that's one change that must be made coming out of this win for Denver. But they are in a very, very good spot for the playoffs. They've got 4 games remaining after the bye. Colts at home, which is not going to be an easy game. Indianapolis just beat New England on the road. Then you've got the Chargers on Thursday night, so a short week, not going to be easy. But then you have a little bit of a rest advantage because you won't play the next week until the Bengals, who are going to be likely on a Saturday. So you'll have 3 extra days of rest over Cincinnati, who will play on 6 days of rest. And then you wrap up the season at home against Kansas City, and I would love nothing more than for that game to be a positional jump up in the seeding for the Broncos, and the Chiefs miss out on the 1 seed if the Bills start to stack up some more wins. That's going to do it for us on our post-game video today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For anyone that watched our watch party, I appreciate you for watching that with us. I know it's kind of a unusual watch party, but I appreciate your understanding and your patience and whatnot. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your night, and Broncos improving to 8-5 on the year.